That's insane.
That is insane.
Your behavior is being controlled by your beliefs. And majority of beliefs are solidified by like age 7. And I think that's insane because there's a large majority of adults that are being controlled by beliefs that were solidified by 7 and they've never questioned.
Priscilla Muite is a mindset coach and a proud mom who helps individuals and entrepreneurs unlock the power of their thinking to design the lives they truly want. But her path into this work wasn't easy. So other than money mindset, was there any other belief that you realized in adulthood was holding you back?
I think a lot of us have this and it shows up in different ways, but that feeling of not being enough.
So before you became a mindset coach, there were some years when you had a bit of a tough time.
Yeah.
Can you get into what those tough times were like?
It took me almost 7 years to have a healthy baby.
Yeah.
And I had 3 losses along the way. And it was one of those things that really shifted my beliefs, I think, around the medical system, number one. We have to be able to be our own advocates.
What tips would you have for somebody who's experiencing imposter syndrome?
Whose voice is it?
So how's business? Thanks for joining me, Priscilla. Welcome.
Thank you.
So how's business?
Thanks, Alma. I'm so happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for coming. Yeah. So I wanted to ask, well, firstly, you're a mindset coach.
Yes.
And I wanted to ask what people's perception is of that, of what a mindset coach is. What kind of response have you got from Kenyans learning that you're a mindset coach?
Yeah, so I think initially it's kind of like, that sounds interesting. What do you do, right? I think what I realized, because prior to getting into the material that I teach, we don't really understand what the mind is, right?
Yeah.
We think the mind is the brain. So most people, when you ask them what's the mind, it's like, oh yeah, it's the brain. And it's like, no, the brain is the organ, the mind is energy, right? So I think there's bound to be a lot of misconceptions when the mind itself is misunderstood, right? And then the other misconception that happens a lot is that people think it's like counseling.
Right.
And while we do, there's things you need to maybe like release, let go, and we need to work on that. But it's very different to counseling, because what we want to do is help you to get a deeper understanding of who you really are and what drives your behavior, so that then you can create the results that you want to create, right? So we're not kind of staying in the space of what happened, why did it happen,
Right.
It's not that.
Right.
But I do believe it's very healing, right? So in that way, it's a bit similar, because in my own journey, learning this material was extremely healing for me. And in that way, it's a bit similar. But I would say those are the two biggest misconceptions. It's kind of like, okay, so is it counseling, or are you like a psychologist, or, what is that? But then once you explain it, then people tend to be very intrigued and interested. And I think for anyone that has known me prior and knows me now has seen such a shift that's also why they're like, okay, I see many changes. I want to know more.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. So, yeah.
Yeah. And have you got any wild reactions to you saying you're a mindset coach?
No, I don't think so. It's usually just the kind of intrigue, or what exactly is that? Or I don't think I've gotten anything crazy yet. Fingers crossed I don't. But yeah, definitely not yet. No.
Yeah, I really want to get into the difference between the mind and the brain and your consciousness.
Yes.
I know people talk about how our mind plays tricks on us and all these things. So it would be good to know the difference and how the mindset can change to kind of alleviate that. But before we get into that, I wanted to go back in time when Priscilla was younger. I want to know what, if you had any experiences when you were young that kind of shaped the way you saw the world, your perspective on the world.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think, so as a child, I used to be told that I would tell my family that I was born because people were too quiet. And so I came with a lot of noise, right? And it's interesting because in all my school reports, it would always be like, she's a good student, but she's too quiet. And I'd look at this report and be like, which human is quiet?
Who?
Like, who?
Who's quiet?
Yeah. So I think it's interesting that even very early on, it was like in spaces where I'm comfortable, I can be very loud, and in spaces where I'm not, I really shrink back. And that's been a pattern for a large chunk of my life that I'm still working on getting out of in a much better place than I was. So I'd say that shaped a lot about me. And then I think maybe that feeling of, wanting people to feel better. So in comes the start of people pleasing, right?
Oh, gosh.
It's like you want your environment to just feel better.
Yeah.
So you're trying to see what shape do I need to put myself in this environment and in this environment. So yeah, I think there was a lot of that, which, like I said, I'm continuously working on getting out of, and just being able to be like, this is me, whether I'm here or there, whoever I'm with, this is me, right? Because I think that's the beautiful part of authenticity, is that you're not going to take me in a certain situation and be like, that's the same person who was there, and that's it. Like, no, it's like, this is me wherever. So yeah, I'd say those two things. And then I think some very warped beliefs around money.
Oh God.
So warped, so warped. I used to be the person who would tell my friends, like, I want to laugh on a bicycle. I do not want to cry in a Benz. Right?
What?
Yes, because in my mind, you could not be happy and wealthy, and you could not be unhappy and broke.
Really?
Yeah. So I chose broke to be happy. And it's so crazy, because then when you start working on like beliefs and understanding and all these things, like now I'm like, that's insane.
That is insane.
I can laugh in a Benz, I can cry on a bicycle, right? It's not, they're not
You don't have to
mutually
pick
exclusive.
one, but
Exactly.
I think I'm the opposite. I'd rather
cry in the Benz.
But okay.
Now I'm like, I'll laugh in the Benz.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, you can be happy.
You can be happy
and be wealthy
correct,
as well.
Correct. And actually, money comes as a result of being happy.
I do believe in that energy.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be wealthy and miserable.
No.
Yeah.
No, but
Why do we have
there
to
were
pick
some
one?
shifts that
Yeah.
needed to happen
Yeah.
to start believing that.
But pertaining to money, is there something that might have happened when you were younger, something specific that might have happened pertaining to money that might have made you feel that way?
I don't know if it's anything specific necessarily. I think I just saw a lot of people around me maybe who were wealthy but
And
not
miserable.
happy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So in my mind, that became the normal.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
associated money with misery.
Yes, or control, or
control.
strings, or just conditions,
negative
or
feelings
very
all around.
negative. Yeah. Which is unfortunate. But yeah.
I think for me, my view when I was younger, maybe money doesn't grow on trees is a big one, and that it was hard to come by.
Yes,
but
toil,
not that,
work hard.
Yeah, but not that I didn't like it. It's just that it was kind of drilled in me that, it's not going to be easy to make money. It doesn't grow on trees. So you make sure you work hard, you study, and, So, no, that's really interesting. So other than money mindset, was there any other belief that you realized in adulthood was holding you back?
Yeah, for sure. I think a lot of us have this, and it shows up in different ways. But that feeling of not being enough, right?
Yeah.
Whether it's pretty enough, whether it's popular enough, whether it's fun enough. I think for me, fun enough was always a big one. But yeah, just not being enough. And the word in the middle would change at different times. But And the thing is, like, which I think we're going to get into a bit later, but how we genuinely feel about ourselves is reflected in the results we get, right?
Yeah.
So when we start digging into that and seeing that, oh, wow, so that happened because that's actually what I felt worthy of or deserving of or whatever, and I didn't even realize that's what was playing a role, right? And the crazy thing is, and this is what comes across from this material, is your behavior is being controlled by your beliefs. And majority of beliefs are solidified by like age 7, right? And I think that's insane because there's a large majority of adults that are being controlled by beliefs that were solidified by 7 and they've never questioned.
Yeah.
right? And depending on what those beliefs were, whether they serve you or they don't, is what's determining your results. And too many people are not questioning them and not going into, not being like, okay, but why do I behave this way if it doesn't serve me, and what can I do to change it? So yeah, I think for me that was definitely a big one. I am not dash enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're right. We don't tend to question these things. And I think for example, it took me a long time to start questioning my feelings. I think it would be nice to have known this earlier, maybe not as a child, like a teenager, maybe we can start questioning how we're feeling, but we just go wild in our feelings and get really deep in our feelings without actually questioning them. So I think that's a really important point to make. Is there someone in your life that made you feel like you could do big things?
Yeah, I'd say my mom.
Yeah.
I think, yeah. Like, in terms of, helping me to believe in myself, especially later on. But I'd say, like, both my parents, even when it was something that they didn't necessarily understand, they would still support me.
Yeah.
So I think that helped to grow some of that belief.
Yeah.
I mean, definitely the journey that I've taken, there was a point where they both thought I have lost my entire mind, but they still supported me in it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that made a really big difference. And then, of course, now later getting into mentorship, then definitely my mentor, and the community we're in, it's always, dream bigger, like anything is possible. What is it you really want? So that you get to think about you as a person. What is it you really want, as opposed to societal expectations? And then you just allow yourself to dream and to imagine and to, because what is big, right? Big is so relative. Big for me might be tiny for somebody else. But just allowing myself to dream and myself to imagine. And yeah.
So before you became a mindset coach, there were some years when you had a bit of a tough time.
Yeah.
Can you get into what those tough times were like, what you were going through?
Sure. Yeah. So it took me almost 7 years to have a healthy baby, healthy living baby.
Yeah.
And I had 3 losses along the way. And I think, especially as a woman, a large part of our identity can be tied around being a wife, being a mom. Those things are like what show that you're a successful woman or whatever, right? And for me, especially because I was a person who, professionally or work-wise, I didn't have that, I definitely want to be this and I want to do this. And I was like passionate about work, and I didn't have that. So I was kind of like floating around trying to figure out professionally, what am I supposed to be doing? Early on, I was in advertising because I'd seen advertising shows that looked cool. I'm like, that's a cool office to work in. Let me do advertising. And it definitely sharpened a lot of skills in me. It definitely was not going to be something I would stay in forever.
Yeah.
And then I helped out in real estate, family real estate projects. But again, it was the passion of the people I was helping out. It was never my own. So professionally, I didn't know what that was, right? The whole notion of like purpose and all of that, I didn't know what that was. But I always knew, for me, family is extremely important. I want a happy marriage. I want healthy, happy kids. I want that, like, my kids to know like healthy love and grow up in that kind of home. So that I was always very clear about.
Yeah.
So it was extremely painful when the one thing I was clear about was one of the things that I just couldn't seem to make happen, right? And it's one of those things where there was no actual cause. Like, you go to the doctor and it's not like, okay, this is what is biologically wrong, or There was no actual reason for it. And actually, I ended up having 2 blighted ovums.
What's a blighted
I
ovum?
had no idea until I had the first one. So you literally go for the scan. You know you're pregnant, right? You've conceived, you're pregnant.
Okay.
And your body has all the signs and symptoms of pregnancy. And you go for your first scan and they tell you the sac is empty. And you're like, what do you mean the sac is empty? If there's a sac, there's a baby.
Right.
And they're like, no. So something goes wrong when the cells are multiplying and there's no baby, but your body doesn't know. So your body is getting all the hormones and everything that you're pregnant. And it's only when you go for the scan that you find out.
But the sac stays.
The sac stays. The sac stays. So all the hormones, everything else is happening. So you're pregnant.
Wow.
Yeah. So you go for the scan and they're showing you And it's one of the most heartbreaking things, because especially when you've never heard of it, it's not even in your mind that it's you hear of miscarriages and all that. It's a type of miscarriage.
Right.
But when they show you that and you're just kind of like, that can't physically happen. What do you mean? So you have to like first process even understanding what is going on, right? And then I thought they were so rare. I mean, I think it's one in, I forget the there's some statistic around it, because then I did some reading about it.
Yeah.
But then I had two. So I'm just like, okay, like how unlucky.
So it's rare, but you had two.
It's not as rare as I thought. I think it's just one of those things, like how we said, fertility journeys are not really talked about, right? So I don't think it's that rare. Also because a lot of people will have it and just think it's a normal miscarriage.
Right.
So they won't know that it is. But if it carries that long without becoming a miscarriage, you'll only find out when you do the scan.
So at what point were you getting a scan done?
I think it was about 10
10
11
weeks?
weeks, something like that. Yeah. The first time. The second time, I think it was about maybe 9 weeks.
Wow. And so a miscarriage can happen between the
first trimester,
blighted ovum
Yeah.
can occur anytime between that conception to the 10 weeks.
I believe so. They say, I think normally around 10, 11. It can never get past first trimester without your body realizing.
Right.
But yeah, I think the first one was around 10 weeks.
Wow.
Yeah. So it was heartbreaking. It was shocking. You're dealing with trying to understand what's even going on. And that time it had taken about a year or so to get pregnant, even that.
And so it happened the first time, and between the first and the second, how long was that?
No, so between the first and the second, so after it happened, then it was, how long was it until I got pregnant again? Because then I think that was 2017. Then I got pregnant again in 2018, yes, with my late son. So then now that was actually a very healthy pregnancy. Everything was all good. All indications were good. Going for, the routines, everything was fine. And then out of nowhere, my water breaks at 28 weeks. There was no sign of anything crazy, right? So of course, when that happens, you go into like serious panic mode, even though now reading up on it, it's like, the baby can reproduce some of the liquid that they need. And it's not like usually an immediate emergency. You can kind of like have time to figure out, okay, what are we doing? What's the next steps? But of course, because of experiencing a loss before, the immediate thing is panic. So we rushed to the hospital, and this wasn't in Kenya. We had traveled, so this wasn't in Kenya. And we rushed to the hospital, and unfortunately, the way we were handled was not in a way of like, let's sit down, let's talk about what's happening, the pros and cons of all options, and then make an informed decision. It was not that at all. It was very much of emergency, emergency, emergency. We need to get you in theater and deliver this baby. Wow. To the point where literally we called my mom, right? And she was in the shower. And by the time she was out of the shower, I was in theater. And it was it was one of those things that really shifted my beliefs, I think, around the medical system, number one. And just made me realize we have to, honestly take responsibility for our health.
Yeah.
We have to be able to be our own advocates, right? In that moment, it would have been a situation of, thank you. It would have been a situation of just let's just take a second, talk me through what's is going on here first, And because he was delivered so fast and his organs weren't ready, and, the facilities at the time just weren't really what was needed. So he lived for 9 very painful days, and then he passed away. And it was definitely, a very heartbreaking time, right? Because we traveled, I was pregnant, and at the end of the travel, we were burying my late son. But that experience really shaped me. I think it's one of those things where certain things happen, and how you come out of it, how you choose to come out of it, what you choose to take out of it, can really shape the rest of your life. So for me, I was spiraling at some point. I was really spiraling. And I came across this incredible book that was called What All Spirit Babies Want Their Mamas to Know. Incredible book. And I know it was a gift from my son. And one of the things that was really troubling me was because I had this understanding that, as souls, we choose our journey before coming here. But at the time, it was kind of like, okay, I'm an adult. I chose this journey. Why did I bring my son into such a painful journey? And that book made it clear that like his soul chose the journey as well. And that gave me such a sense of peace, because it was like, it wasn't my journey that caused him pain. It was part of his journey as well for whatever reason. And when I had that peace, I was able to start healing and start letting go and start being like, okay, cool, I didn't bring this pain upon him, And then, of course, now I took some time before getting pregnant again. Then I get pregnant, and then it's the blighted ovum. So then I'm just like, am I broken? Like all these things. And like, you start to think, and I think it's unfortunate because then you start to feel like you're 1 in a million on the negative side. You know how 1 in a million is usually like a really good thing. Mm-hmm. But then you start to think, okay, no, like
What's
maybe
going
is
on?
this journey for me and all these things, right? And as I said, infertility, it's very unfortunate because people aren't really sharing because there's so much like shame attached and everything, right? But when you start talking, you realize just how many people go through a lot of things. And for me, it was one of those things like, no. Like my faith is extremely important to me. Like God is my foundation, absolutely. Not religion, but God. And for me, I'm like, I know God put this desire in me. And God is love. God is not, let me dangle a carrot that you can't have. That's not how God operates. So if you put this desire in me, you know how it is coming about. So you guide me. Yeah. You guide me, you show me. And I surrendered. And that is actually what led me even to mentorship, because then it was like I need to get a better understanding of me. That led me into doing this incredible program on fertility, also now to just, make sure my body, my mind, everything were right as well. It brought the most incredible resources to me that I don't even know where they come from. And it was just one of those things, how we were speaking earlier about how you're guided. You're just guided, It would be like you see something on IG about a lady who's doing a women's gathering or something. And like I said, I used to be, very shy. So I'm not one to go for like an event where I don't know anyone, I don't even know the host.
Yeah.
But something in me is saying, go.
Please go.
Go, So I went. And this lady had been through this incredible hormonal journey as well, where she had reversed a whole lot of stuff. And she ended up telling me about another lady who at the time was based in the States, who does what she calls primestering. So it's preparing your body for pregnancy. But the way she goes about it is she does kind of like mind, body, soul. So she's a hardcore scientist, but she realized that's not the entire picture. So she put together this amazing program. I would not have known about her if I'd not gone for that event, right? And there's a saying by, I think it's Steve Jobs, who says you can only connect the dots looking backwards. But truly, we're always being guided.
Absolutely.
We're always being guided. And then mentorship is what really helped me just connect with who I really am and really start to really fall in love with me, which I never loved myself, right? And then again, the resources. So like I was clear about the kind of midwife I want to work with, the kind of doctor I want to work with, and everything just came together for that pregnancy. And it was an amazing pregnancy. And my son just turned 2 in August. It is the happiest, cutest little, amazing little miracle.
Congratulations.
Yes. So yeah, and now I'm honestly at a space in my life where I do not regret any of the pain or any of that journey, because all of it has led to who I am now.
Yeah.
If things maybe had been better, who knows? I'd have been like, okay, it's good enough. I don't need to, study myself. I don't need to even love myself. Like it's okay enough as it is, right? And the mom I would have shown up as then is totally different to who I get to show up as now for my son. What I get to teach him by what I tell him, but also what I get to teach him by the truth I'm now living. So now I'm completely grateful for the whole journey.
Sorry. Ooh. Sorry.
No worries.
Yeah. No, I'm really happy for you.
Thank you. Thank you.
So I just want to say that I'm really happy for you, and it takes so much strength to go through what you've gone through, and to be able to come out on the other side and still be who you are and still be so positive. But I guess you have AJ as well to show for it. So that's
Yes, absolutely.
amazing. And he's beautiful and
He's,
healthy and
yeah,
is the light of your life. So
completely,
I guess
completely.
it's all worth it in the end.
100%,
Yeah.
100%. And like I said, the journey now of me being his mom is totally different. Like
Yeah.
how it would have been as his mom when I didn't love myself, I would have passed on a lot more stuff that I would not have wanted to pass on. I mean,
Yeah,
one of my
absolutely.
things is always like, I want my children to have to unlearn a lot less. I know I'm going to mess up. No one's perfect. I know he's going to make his own mistakes, but at least that initial grounding of like his perfection and his spiritual essence and who he really is something that I now get to give him, which I wasn't able to give him. I
Yeah.
wouldn't have been able to give him
Yeah.
if I hadn't gone through all that. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's all good.
So tell me about the moment when you started learning how to coach, and the material you came across from Kim. I know that she bases a lot of her theory on her mentor, Bob Proctor.
Yes.
And I've read my first Bob Proctor book in
Yay.
university, actually. In
Yeah.
my first, well, it was like my last year of uni.
Nice.
Someone introduced me to him. It was, what was it? Born Rich.
Ah, yes.
And
yes,
I
yes.
loved the book. And that's like the beginning of my journey through, you know, creating what you want in life and the power of your mindset. Yeah. So tell me about that. Tell me about that.
Well, first, I think you started a lot earlier than a lot of people, so that's amazing.
I mean, I still have it's like a lifelong thing,
Never
isn't it?
ends,
Like
yeah.
it never
It
ends.
never
So
ends.
yeah, but yeah.
Yeah, so my mom sent me a link of something that Bob Proctor was doing, and I watched it, and it really resonated. Like it just felt like what he was saying really made a lot of sense. So I was doing his free 5-day programs, and then I got the chance to do one of his programs as well. And then his signature program is called Thinking into Results, which is what Kim teaches. And even while he was teaching in his programs, he talks about Kim a lot because she's his top consultant and she's gotten incredible results, like completely turned around her life in a fairly short amount of time. And it's funny what I was saying about, being able to connect the dots looking backwards. So I did a program called Year of Miracles, where you go through different aspects of your life per month. And in Year of Miracles, you go into what they called miracle groups. And so you pick your group based on the time. And I thought I was picking based off of US time, and it was actually based on Kenyan time. So I ended up in the wrong group in essence, right? And it's so funny because I was in a group with a lady in her 70s from Australia and a lady in her 80s from the States. And then there is me in my 30s thinking, what is this group gonna be like? And you know how you initially are like, oh crap, it was a mistake, But I went with it. And the lady in her 70s actually ended up being a very, very good friend of mine. Unfortunately, she passed away earlier this year. But because of our friendship and our shared love of Bob Proctor's material, her friend wanted to do a special in honor of Bob's passing, because Bob passed away 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Because she's a consultant as well. And she wanted to do this special only for Australians. So my friend, she was called Izzy, she was like, no, you have to speak to Priscilla because she's so passionate and she'd be the perfect person to do this with me. So she agreed to have a call. And then she agreed for me to do the program. And now looking back, if I hadn't been in the wrong group, I would not have met Izzy. And then I would not have been able to do Thinking in Results the first time.
Yeah.
And then after doing Thinking in Results the first time, when I was about to finish, someone from Kim's team reached out. And I was like, wait, Kim, like Kim, like the Kim Bob talks about? No way. And it was like, yes, that is who. So that's how I started my mentorship, in essence, my mentorship journey with Kim. So yeah.
So how long have you been training with Kim?
So I first did the mentorship. And actually it is, 2 months, 3 months after starting mentorship with Kim is when I found out I was pregnant with AJ.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So that was amazing going through that journey. And I think as well, the beautiful thing is I was so aware that like my energy is my baby's energy, right? So I couldn't allow myself to just be sucked into like fear and like heartbreak or like, what if this happens and what if this happens and da da da. So I was so like locked into desire as a result of this material as well. And this material really deepens your faith as well. So I was like so connected to God and like so connected to my baby. And I was like, it's the three of us are doing this thing together, you know? And even in terms of like the doctor wanted to deliver him earlier because of my history. And I was like, no, we're going to reach 38 weeks. That is what we're doing. And early on, he even laughs at me because like, you're very stubborn. I'm like, yeah, like me, God and AJ, like we're doing this, you know, like we're good. We've decided.
Had he classified you as
high risk
pregnancy?
For sure.
And so he proposed that you deliver at when?
I think he wanted to do 36, if I remember correctly. I think. And I was just like, I felt into it. I'm like, no, we're doing 38. That is what we're going to do.
Yeah. Good on you for staying true to yourself and listening to yourself and listening to your body and what you really felt, because not a lot of people can do that.
And there's pressure and there's fear and there's like, what if I'm wrong, and all the things that have happened and all of these things. But like I'm saying, because I was working on my mindset and my faith was like deepened, I was just like, no, you know what, we're going to do this. We're going to do this. And of course, there were moments of worry and fear. They don't just disappear, but then you're able to recenter. And when you have something that you're focusing on and immersing yourself in, it makes the biggest difference. So again, everything we need is always coming to us, because I needed to be in mentorship at that time to be able to go through that the way I did. And I insisted, and 38 weeks is when we agreed, and that is when he came. And he
came at 38 weeks?
No, we had to deliver. We had to, do a C-section, a planned C-section, because from my late son, the what did they call it? Like my uterus, the lining was a bit thin in some places. So like, we can't actually risk you going into labor. So I was like, that one you've explained and I can accept. You're not just telling me, we're doing this because it's a risk. It's like, this is legit. And he told me very early on so that I could accept it. So that I had accepted. But I was like, okay, we can do the planned C-section, but we're doing it at 38 weeks, not a day before. And that is what we did. And he's healthy and incredible.
Thank God.
Yeah, I'm so grateful. So grateful. But sorry, I took a tangent about the, so I did the mentorship.
While you were pregnant with him?
While I was pregnant with him. Yeah. And then towards the end of the mentorship, then an opportunity came to now be trained by Kim to be a coach. Okay. And by that time, I had completely fallen in love with the material. I'd seen so many shifts in my own life and how I felt about me and things I was seeing in my external. I completely jumped on it. So that's how I ended up training to be a coach, which is what I do now, which I absolutely love.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And, okay, so do you have clients now? Like,
Yeah. So I've worked with clients in the States, in Australia, in Europe, in Kenya as well, because everything we do is online. Yeah. So we can work with clients from anywhere in the world. Which I think is amazing. Kim has designed this incredible app, which you're experiencing right now, right? The Source.
Yes. Priscilla has got me on on a challenge. Absolutely. So it's a 21-day challenge. I'm on day 15.
And being so consistent. You've not missed a single day.
Look, I'm a consistent girl.
Absolutely.
I can keep it up.
Yes.
So I'm going to say, obviously, I only have 6 days left. Yeah. So, that's pretty easy for me.
21
but it's really enlightening. I'm enjoying it. So I'm going to see what comes out of that after 21 days.
Exactly. And that's the beauty of this material. And it's what we keep saying. Even education in and of itself, it was never meant to put in, which I think a lot of, traditional education systems, you feel like I am empty and you must now put things in me.
Yeah.
And actually education, or the Latin of it, the educo, is to bring out. Because we come here with everything. Like we're truly perfect in our spiritual essence, and we lose that along the way with all this conditioning and society and all these other things. And what we do is we help you reconnect back to that and create from that space. So it's incredibly empowering material that changes lives.
And so what kind of issues do people come to you with, and what kind of women come to you? You do women and men.
Yes, men and women.
But what kind of people? What kind of people do you come across, and what kind of issues do they come to you with?
So I think a lot of I'll speak, I guess, for the women mainly. a lot of it is rooted in self-image. It just presents in different ways. So it could be I want to move from corporate to entrepreneurship, but I'm scared to make that shift. It could be relationships are not doing well and I want to improve them. It could be I want to improve my health, right? And the thing with what we teach is the way that results are created is exactly the same regardless of the result. And that's why this material is so beautiful. It's not that there's one path if it's health and one path if it's relationships and one path if it's money.
It's the same.
It's the same. Yes. But self-image is a huge, huge, huge thing. And in my mentorship journey, like I said, that whole not enough and whatever fill in the blank it is was a massive thing, because in as much as I wanted certain things, I didn't deep down feel worthy of them. You know? And you know how you hear you don't get in life what you want, you get in life who you are. But I was like, I'm a good human. I treat people well. I live by the golden rule. Like, I should be getting good things because I'm a good person. It goes deeper than that. It's not who you are in that way. It's who do you think you are? Who do you see yourself as? What value do you place on yourself? Because that is what is going to be reflected back in your results, whether it's personally or professionally. That is what kept me stuck for a very, very long time. And
what did you believe about yourself at that time? And then what had to shift?
I think I just, the not enoughness.
Yeah.
You know, I need to shape myself into whichever package suits the situation that I'm in or the person that I'm in. If it's relationship, what suits that person? If it's professional, what suits that? You know, it was always, who do I need to shape myself to be accepted, to be valued, to be seen even, you know, to be deserving.
And who did you learn that you are now?
Now I know I'm God's highest form of creation.
Amen.
We all are.
Amen.
We are all God's highest form of creation. Our spiritual essence is absolute perfection. And it's just like, you know, with our phones, with our computer, when there's virus code, that's what starts messing things up. It's not the issue, it's not the computer, it's not the phone. It's the code that's messing up with the operating system. We just need to reset our operating system and go back into alignment with who we really are. Everything outside starts to reflect that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think even I think something that I have learned over time, even when you have thoughts of insecurity or thoughts of, should I say it, imposter syndrome?
The big one. Yes.
I've been learning to really decide who it is that I am or who I think I am. And whatever I think I am is what's actually true.
Yes.
And I can make that whatever I want it to be.
Absolutely.
So even doing this podcast and going through this process, I've had so much imposter syndrome. So much imposter syndrome. It's like, who do I think I am? But just kind of decided that this is exactly who I am and this is exactly what I'm doing. And I think whatever that you decide is what actually it is the truth.
100%. And we can change that decision in any given moment. You know how they say,
for sure,
your point of attraction is right now, you know?
Yeah.
So if you were feeling that self-doubt or whatever 5 minutes ago, doesn't mean that you're going to attract from that right now. If you decide, that's not who I am, I'm amazing, I'm following my path, I'm aligned, God is creating through me, let's do this.
I love that. Sometimes we want to stay consistent, right? With our feelings. And we're like, well, if I was feeling like that, then I
must be married to it for a while.
I need to keep the same energy to be consistent and authentic, you know?
Yeah, no, but it's okay. You can, in any given moment, decide, like, is this what I want to attract?
Yeah.
Is who I am right now what I want to attract? And if it's not, forgive yourself, let it go, and choose different.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we're incredibly powerful.
I love that.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I think let's dive a little bit into imposter syndrome.
Okay.
And maybe what tips would you have for somebody who's experiencing imposter syndrome? What would you tell them to do?
I think number one is, like, whose voice is it? Right?
Say it again.
That voice, that voice that wants to come when you want to start something new, do something, change something. That voice that immediately comes and tells you, hey, you, Aisha, no, you stay over there, right? And then what do we do when we have that doubt? Ask opinions.
Yeah. It's usually someone else's voice, isn't it?
Always someone else's voice.
Yeah.
It's always someone else's. It's never you, the true you. It's the conditioned you, it's the societal expectations, it's the voices around you, it's, oh, but this person tried and this happened and da-da-da-da-da. It's not the true you. And I think what's so important to remember, which is something that I think really grounds me, is that the true desires, like true desires of our heart, you know, not just like random wants, but those true desires of our heart are God-given because it's something that is meant to be expressed to and through us for the bigger picture. And so we're being guided, we're being aligned. And yes, we're going to feel afraid because there's growth that's required. So in that moment, you're looking at your current self and you're thinking, the version of me that's doing that is not me yet, right? But it's who you can grow into. But it was put in your heart. If something is put in my heart and then I go and speak to someone about it who doesn't have the same vision, even if they love me and they want the best for me, they want to protect me. So they don't want me to take risks. They don't want me to do things that could end up
But
badly.
they're also imposing their own feelings and their own securities on you and projecting them on you. So it's never really about you, is it?
Exactly. So it's understanding they're doing it from the best place possible, but they don't have that vision. They don't have that in their hearts, just as I don't have what's in their heart in mine. And that's why we have to be so careful, number one, when you want to step out and do something new, be so careful with who you tell. Be so careful with whose opinions you're getting or whose encouragement you're seeking. Make sure it's people who have maybe done that or better, or who have a certain mindset, who will encourage you, not from their fear or from their maybe limited beliefs, but who think in the same way, right? Because what you need is a voice that is encouraging you to keep going. It's bringing out that brighter version of you who's already inside. And I think another thing that people need to realize is that goals are about growing. It's the growth, not the getting. It's not the thing you want. It's who you grow into, right? So there's always going to be growth that's attached, which means there will be a level of feeling imposter syndrome because you're not yet the version of you in the goal. But that's the gap you can close. So it doesn't mean you're on the wrong track. It doesn't mean you're not capable or able. It just means, okay, let me grow into this version of me who is doing that thing. That doesn't mean it's not meant to be me. It just means let's grow into this intentionally and consciously and have that belief and have that faith that like that idea was given to you for a reason, not to somebody else, to you. So make that voice your friend. And there's something we say that, you know, when the voice is extremely negative, you can't immediately flip it to positive because you won't believe it. You can't go from, I hate myself, or I'm not worthy, or I don't like myself, to I'm amazing, I'm powerful, I can do anything. You can't do that, right? It'll
take time. It'll take a lot of time.
But like get to neutral, you know, start by I'm liking myself a little bit more every day. Start by I'm getting better at this every day. Things that like feel true enough to you, but that nudge you closer to neutral, and then you can get to positive. And then the voice can work with you.
But another thing that I've been looking at, I mean, first of all, most of the women I speak to have imposter syndrome. And just generally, stats say that it's mainly women who feel it. And I've been just reading up on it a little bit, and I realized that imposter syndrome is something that occurs in women mainly for a reason, right? We are living in this world designed for men, right? And if you're somewhere that you're not, or you don't feel like you belong because it's not designed for you, right? So of course you're going to feel some level of, can I do this? Can I not do this? So I feel like it's more of a social construct. It's not really, that feeling of inadequacy is not about you. The feeling of inadequacy is not actually about you. It's all external and has nothing to do with whether you're capable or not. what's going on outside.
Yeah.
So it's good, to your point, knowing that, it matters who you're talking to. It matters who you're surrounding yourself with, and the positivity that they're speaking to you, and your goals and your dreams.
Absolutely. And what you said is so accurate. Like, we're in this game playing by rules we didn't set.
Yeah.
Right? And you're always going to feel, as you said, you're going to feel like you don't belong and all of that. But who says we have to continue to play by rules that we didn't set?
Exactly.
And that goes back to challenging beliefs, challenging
Questioning
how you're living,
questioning everything.
Absolutely. Live life that makes sense to you on your terms,
Yeah.
And yes, society might have something to say about it, but is society bringing you joy? Is society bringing you peace?
No.
All these people who have something to say, and I think that's something I learned, that, people who will go out of their way to make you question or doubt yourself or make you feel guilty or shame or any of those things, they are never okay.
Yeah.
Because someone that is okay wants to uplift.
Yeah. Doesn't
not
have
bring
that
down
kind of energy. Yeah.
at all.
Yeah.
So you can just be like, thanks for your opinion. If there's something constructive, meditate on it. If there's not, let it go.
Yeah.
But like, make life make sense to you. Because ultimately, we're not here for that long in the grand scheme of things. Can we have an amazing time?
Please.
And be our authentic selves. Me, I wasn't put here to be Alma. Me, I was put here to be Priscilla.
Yeah.
If I spend my life trying to be Alma, the world is robbed of Priscilla, number one.
Absolutely.
Number two, I'm always in shoes I can't fit. That's not comfortable.
Yeah.
So like, let's get to understand who we really are and what we really value, and how we want to experience this
as
life.
yourself. As yourself.
Yes.
And your own individual self and your own rules, right?
100%.
Yeah.
100%. And I think, again, going back to self-image and just really realizing that what is being reflected in your results is a reflection of what's going on inside. So don't spend years feeling stuck or blaming, because I did that as well, right? When it was like, but I'm a good person, so it can't be me, so it must be everything outside of me. Then it's blame game.
Yeah.
And much as like the woye is nice, that kind of woye, sorry, those two hugs, you feel like a comfort there, but it keeps you stuck.
It does.
How many woyes are you going to get, and then what?
Yeah. How long are we going to do this for?
Exactly. Like, okay, it sucked. The situation sucked, but then what are we making out of it? What are we creating from it? What do we want to focus on instead? Because that's a massive thing. Let's learn how to stop focusing on the things that we don't like and shift our focus to what it is we actually want, because that's what's going to start to bring it. And then look inside.
Yeah.
What are the beliefs? What are the habits? What needs to shift to create the results that you actually want? Because when you realize it's a reflection of what's going on inside, yes, it means taking responsibility, which was something I felt allergic to. I was like, what do you mean take responsibility for my life? What does that mean? Explain it. I'm like, I feel like you didn't hear the painful thing I just shared, if that is your response.
Yeah.
Right? And it's not that. It's just about realizing you can create. What is it you want to create? Let's start focusing on that instead. And when inside shifts, outside shifts.
Yeah. I think what I'm thinking about, it resonates with me so much, because I think there was a point in my life when I thought that someone was coming to save me.
Ooh, yeah.
And I was like, I don't know when the moment hit. Maybe it was gradual. But there was a moment where I was like, girl, no one is coming to save you.
Yeah.
You have to do this for yourself. You have to make this life for yourself and what you want it to be.
100%.
Did you have a moment where you're just like,
People aren't coming, and the warriors are not as warm anymore. And like, I'm the one who's just miserable and escaping. Because for me, my escape wasn't alcohol or part. Okay, in the beginning, maybe alcohol and partying, but then it became series. I was addicted to series. I didn't even know.
And you were just watching.
Yes, I could tell you, Monday, these are the shows that are released. Tuesday, these are the ones. Wednesday, these are the ones. When those ones are off season, I have my backups that I can watch until the other ones come back. Like, I didn't realize I was trying to escape my life.
Distract yourself.
Distract, and so many people are living in a space of just distracting and numbing, whether it's something that is physically harming them or not. It doesn't matter. It's the same thing that is disconnecting you from life.
Yeah.
And that's not why you're here. So live the life you truly want to live.
Live the life you want.
Absolutely, because you're worthy of it.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, we're all worthy of living incredible lives. And I think for me, like I said in the beginning, God is foundational to who I am, to everything I do, always working to and through me, right? So deepening that connection also means that I'm never alone. I can be physically alone, but I'm never alone. So any journey I'm doing, anything I'm starting, any conversation I'm having, any client I'm speaking to, even just before this podcast, right? That moment of connection.
Yeah.
It's reconnecting with who I really am and allowing that to flow to and through me and knowing I'm always supported, I'm always provided for, I'm always loved, I'm always guided. And I think that's just a beautiful way to be able to live life.
That seems like such a cushy state of mind, right?
Yeah.
To feel like you're always supported and to feel like someone's always with you, someone's got your back. I don't know. I have to say that it's hard to be. It's one thing to say it and feel it at certain moments, right?
Yes.
But then for that to be consistently the case.
Oh yeah, that's the work.
Right?
That's the work.
And how do you do that?
I think what really helps, two things. Number one, realizing that your current results are the effect of past thinking. So what my senses are showing me was created in the past. If I keep giving attention to that, I'll keep experiencing more of it.
And those feelings.
Exactly. So I need to be that bodyguard of my mind and that intentional person that takes myself back, takes myself back to that connection, takes myself back to that essence of me. And that's why I said it's moment by moment. It's a journey, right? It's not going to be that for 5 months in a row I was feeling amazing. They're going to be the senses will do their thing and they'll come loud. I sometimes joke that because we speak about a paradigm, which is basically your habits and beliefs which are controlling your behavior. And early on, I decided to name my paradigm Spoofy. Because I'm like, Spoofy. For two reasons. Number one, you're spoofing reality. What you're showing me in these senses is not actually reality. It's what you're trying to show me.
Yeah.
Number two, I wanted a name that's cute and playful so that it disarms that strong energy.
It's not this big monster.
It's not, it's like, Spoofy. Spoofy, I see you, Spoofy. So at times I'll say Spoofy has been quiet because Spoofy was at the gym. Spoofy came back with some big ass muscles and just like whoop. And I was like, what just happened? And you have to shake yourself back and readjust and realign, so it never ends. But it's just, I think when you can be intentional about it and be intentional, just remember my senses doesn't mean that is reality is going to stay that way. It's just the current situation. So let me shift my focus. What do I want to change it to? What do I want to experience? How do I want to feel? And then realizing your feelings are created by your thoughts.
Yeah.
So if you're meditating on thoughts that do not serve you, you're going to keep feeling bad. You're going to feel low energy. And if you take action in low energy, you're not likely to get great results. And you keep focusing on that, that's just a cycle you're going to keep creating. So kill the cycle. Shift focus to what it is you actually want to create, to experience.
Yeah.
Keep your focus there until you experience it.
Yeah.
And that's how you start shifting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And have you personally become, it just seems like a constant, it seems like a constant meeting with yourself, right?
Yeah.
Like a constant battle where you're just like, okay, I have to, as much as you said feelings control your thoughts, your thoughts control your feelings and all of that. It just seems like I'm constantly having meetings with myself and my mind and stopping certain thought patterns in their tracks. And it's just like, do you ever get to a point where things are just smooth sailing? And you know what I mean? Because somebody's going to come and irritate you.
Yep.
Yep. And so when does it become like water off my back and I don't see you. Yeah. I'd love for that to be
the case.
Yeah, the case where I want to get to that point. Yeah. I heard when you get older, older, it becomes that. Yeah. But I want to get there now where it's just nothing
phases you.
Phases me.
Yeah.
And I'm just positive all the time. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a work in progress. I don't think there's ever going to be a point in time where you'll say like, I am always zen and just perfect and happy. No, like things happen, right? But it goes back to, again, are you able to respond instead of react and
Right.
keep your power? Because
Right.
we're not going to be able to control the annoying people around us or
Yeah.
things that happen that we don't necessarily like. But are we reacting to it and
Yeah.
matching the same energy?
Yeah.
Or are we responding to it with the energy of the outcome that we actually desire? So we keep our energy in a good place, right? And it's not going to be that we do that every time. But when we're intentional about it, you'll find so many times you're like, oh my gosh, the last time that happened, I reacted so badly.
Yeah.
This time I was able to respond, and you stack up those wins and you stack up those wins that just show that this work of being that bodyguard is so worth it. And I think the other thing to remember is it's like a path in the forest. When a path is being created, there's shrubs, there's roots, there's bushes, there's all these things that have to be like cut away, right, to create the path. But once that path has been walked on over and over and over and over and over again, it's so easy for anyone to see.
Yeah.
It's the same with our minds. You're trying to create a new pathway, a new normal. In the beginning, there's bushes you have to cut down,
Yeah.
there's shrubs, there's roots, you're gonna get tripped up, all these other things. But you just keep going, just keep going,
Yeah.
just keep going. And at some point,
be a
that
clear-
will become your new normal.
Yeah.
It's not to say that things won't ever bug you again, but it'll be that your mind is so quick to switch, so quick to switch, so quick to catch it and switch. And you'll just find you're able to live with so much more calmness of mind, so much more peace, and truly being able to respond and create life rather than just reacting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And is that what you've just described as your brain actually creating new neural pathways? Yeah.
Yes. And I mean, this is the thing, even a belief, right? Because we spoke about beliefs before. A belief is not a fact.
Yeah.
A belief is something you told yourself or heard over and over and over and over again until
Exactly.
it's solidified into a
Yeah.
belief, right? So let's choose beliefs that serve us. Let's create paths that actually are guiding us to what we want rather than what we don't.
Yeah.
Because we're doing it either way.
Yeah.
So can we shift the direction?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It really does sound really simple to do.
The essence of it is simple.
Yeah.
The practice of
practice
it
is
the
not so
discipline.
simple,
It's
yeah.
the consistency. It's
Yeah.
the persistence.
Yeah.
It's really being committed to the process, right?
Absolutely.
You have to show up for the process.
And some people actually they're so used to a certain way of thinking that it makes them comfortable. I think we all are just comfortable in
Yes.
whatever feelings or whatever reactions that we have to anything.
Absolutely.
So we just get really comfortable in that,
Yeah.
and changing that becomes so difficult.
Exactly. Or you're just like, that's just how I am, or that's just
Yeah,
how
just
things
who I am.
are. Or,
That's who I am.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but why?
But you can actually change.
Yes. And is it serving you?
You just decide. We're
Just
doing
decide.
this.
You commit to the process, you commit
Yeah.
to yourself, you commit
Yeah.
to showing up, to doing, because you have to do the work.
Yeah.
There's work to be done. You
Yeah.
have to, shift those beliefs and shift the habits. There's work to be done. But it's so worth it for the life that you can then get to experience on your own terms. It's so worth it. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, I think we can let's talk about your business.
Okay.
Let's talk about your business and what you're doing right now at the moment, and what we should look forward to to hear from you.
Okay, awesome. So actually, just before we get into that, I think just something to touch on about how you said about getting comfortable, right?
Yeah.
Because something I experienced as well, would be told about, people get in their comfort zone and they stop growing. And for me, there was a number of very massive life shifts that happened in a fairly short amount of time. And so anytime I heard that, I'd be like, I am not in my comfort zone. Do you see the changes that I don't, comfort zone is not me. But at some point, I realized I started getting into a comfort zone of that now new level, right? So it took a certain amount of growth to get to that level. And then that became comfortable and it was time for the next. Yeah. And so this notion of comfort, it's not a one-off thing.
Yeah.
Every time we grow, we'll get comfortable with that and then we need to grow again. We always need to be growing. We are for expansion and fuller expression. That's our essence. So even if you look at some things and you're like, no, there were massive changes that were required, like, cool, but be real with yourself. Call yourself to that meeting and be like, okay, yes, there was massive shifts, there was massive growth, but am I now in a comfort zone?
Yeah.
So that you can start to shift some things.
Yeah.
Because that was what I had to do, and realize, okay, it's time for the next level
next
of growth,
thing.
the next level of my self-image. All of those things had to start to shift again. So I just wanted to touch on that because of the comfort zone part.
But it definitely does take a certain mindset, right? I mean, there has to be something in you, even if you're in this like ditch of rock bottom, right? There has to be a little piece of you that wants to come out of that, right? And I think finding that is the issue for a lot of people. But some people also just get comfortable in the ditch and spiral out of control. But you have to find that part of you that wants to grow.
100%, 100%, because no one can create that for you. We can guide you, we can help you, we can support you, but you have to want it for yourself. Or if not for yourself in the beginning, for a loved one. Because some people, they're not able to want it for themselves, but they want it for their child, or they want it for a partner, or whatever it is. Like, you need to want it for someone or something greater as you then build your own belief in yourself.
Wanting it for you is a good enough reason.
It is, but for some people, like, if the sense of worth is not there,
it's not quite there.
Exactly. Then wanting it for you is not enough. You'll find, I love my child more, right? So seeing my child and wanting that for my child will keep me there. Whereas for me to be like, so it depends on the value they place on themselves, I think. Sorry, so to get back to your question, yes. So coaching-wise, we have amazing programs on the platform, from the free challenge to quests to the 90-day coaching program that I facilitate, which I absolutely love, to then full-on mentorship. I've also started doing like a mastermind with my cousin, who's a former client, who is an absolute pro in sales. So then we're able to then do the mindset side and the sales side, bring it together. We're starting to do trainings as well in corporates. So yes, I'm really excited by all the things that are happening, as I've stepped into this new growth and this new self-image and everything. Awesome things are coming about. But I think for me, it's just the journey of studying you is always going to be your best investment. It's always going to be so worthwhile. There's something that Bob Proctor always used to say: if you want your life to get better, you have to study you. Because you are the center of all your results, right? It's you. It's you is the only one who's been taken everywhere.
You have to live with yourself.
You have to live with yourself. You have to enjoy your own like all these things. It's you. You are the center of it. So get to know you. Get to love you. Get to value you. Get to understand you. That's the journey I take people on, which I love doing, and seeing people transform. I mean, I'm so blessed that my mom, who initially, as I said, thought I was nuts, but still supported me, is in mentorship and is in alumni now, because she's just like, I saw my daughter transform in front of my eyes. I wanted to experience that, and that's the beauty of this material. Like I'm saying, we're showing you what's in you and helping you bring that out. We're not telling you what to do, what to think, what to want. No, we're just like, okay, what is it you really want? Let's help you understand who you really are and how to create it. And that's the journey we take you on. And I love what I do. Like, I just love the fact that, like, now, from being that person that never had like my thing, to now being able to stand and say, I absolutely love what I do. I am so fulfilled by it, by being part of people's journeys as they change their lives, seeing transformations, and just knowing I get to be part of that. Like, that's part of what I get to bring to the world. Completely lights me up. So I'm so grateful.
It's so nice to see you lighting up like that when you speak about it.
I do.
It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing to see someone really, live their passion and love what they do, and it definitely shows. You're lighting up.
And that's the thing. I'm so grateful, because it's not something I could have written. A few years ago, I never would have. Like I said, I didn't know what my professional thing was, my personal life wasn't going well, all these things. And now I look at where I am now and how I feel about things now, and it's completely different. And that passion comes from knowing the power of what we teach,
Yeah.
knowing what it can do, and seeing the transformation in my life and so many clients' lives. Anything is possible. Truly, anything is possible.
What would you say are some of the challenges that you might be having in your business right now, transforming it into what you want it to be?
I think one of the things is helping people understand the value of investing in themselves.
Yeah.
Right? Because again, the limiting money beliefs and all of that, people are very quick to be like, they want to know maybe how much it is or did it. And yes, there's a free challenge. Like that doesn't cost you anything, but it'll cost you then. Are you ready to invest your time?
Yes.
But it's realizing the value of investing in yourself, because I think we're very conditioned that if I've invested in something, I need to have something tangible to show this is where my money went.
Yeah.
Right? And personal development is not that. You
Yeah.
don't have a tangible product to show the world. They'll see the changes, they'll see the results over time. It's not going to be something immediate.
Yeah.
And so I think that is one of the challenges, is really educating people about the value of investing in yourself, because truly that's what will give you your greatest return.
Yeah.
No other investment will give you a return like investing in you.
Absolutely.
So I think that's definitely one of the biggest challenges. And then the other is, there's a lot of, paradigms and fears that we're working with. So it'll be like, oh, but how do I know this will work for me? Or like, but she's in Northern Ireland, not in Kenya, or did it, like things like questioning basically like, will it work? Will it work? And at the end of the day, if you truly believe it won't, you will self-sabotage.
Yeah.
There's nothing I can do to shift that fully. I can show you clients' testimonials. I can explain, my own life story. The material works because it's a scientific process that will work if you work it.
Yeah.
But if you don't work it, it won't work.
Yeah.
Right? So I think I'd say those are the two biggest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so. You have to find people who are in a growth mindset, right?
Yes.
Or someone who
Or willing to be.
are open to it.
Yeah.
But in terms of expense, I think even not, you have free challenges or
Exactly.
whatever.
Yeah.
So, being able to do a free challenge
Exactly.
is a great introduction to the material.
Exactly, yeah.
And furthermore, if you don't want to pay for the coaching or the experience, the free challenges introduces you to the material. So you can do the work for yourself as well.
Absolutely. And you can decide, does it resonate? Does it not?
Yeah.
But give it a chance.
Yeah.
I think that's the thing of just being able to be open and allowing yourself to be guided and aligned. Like, give it a chance. If it doesn't work, cool. If it does, like, what could you get from it working?
Yeah.
And that's one of the things even Kim was told in the beginning was like, you can see what you're giving up, whether you're changing career or you're changing maybe walking away from a relationship or you're walking away from something you've always done, you can see very clearly what you're giving up. And that goes back again to the senses. But you have no idea how good things could be on the other side. So give yourself that chance. Don't be, because I think too many of us have to get to the place where we're so stuck and miserable before we make a change.
Yeah.
We don't have to.
You don't have to hit rock
You
bottom.
don't have to hit rock bottom.
I'm not a rock bottom girl.
I definitely hit it. But now I'm an advocate of not. Like, you don't need to.
No, I do not need to see the trenches to know that I need some changes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what's your bigger vision for the business?
So I'm currently, very blessed to be able to say that I am the first Dynamite delegate in Africa.
Awesome.
Yes, which I'm
What
so
does that
grateful
mean?
about. So what that means is that I'm the only person currently in Africa who's been directly trained and licensed by Kim herself to facilitate and teach her material. Yes,
Amazing.
which is, at times I'm just like, wait, what, me that used to try and hide is now the what?
Imposter syndrome.
Exactly. So yeah, my vision is just really to make this name big across Africa. Kenya first, but Africa as a whole. I am very passionate about women. I do have male clients as well, but I'm very passionate about women. Firstly, because I'm a woman. Secondly, because I think we are the most stuck and we are the ones who give away our power a lot. And as you said, the rules of society are designed for us to give away our power. And I'm very passionate about you being able to reclaim that power, step into that awesome human that you are, and be that in the world, because the world needs you. So I'm very passionate about that. So that for me is the big thing. I want women to be free, to step into their power, to be the amazing people they're here to be, and yeah, to make Dynamite and myself a household name in Africa.
So will you be building your own brand as well?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes. With time, yes.
Okay,
Yes.
great.
Yeah.
Because I want to see Priscilla as a brand.
Yes,
as
yes.
well.
I hear that a lot. I
Yeah.
hear that a lot. And yes, it's definitely in the cards. I mean, right now I go by Priscilla WMK. So yes, that will be built as a bigger brand. But yeah, that is the vision.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And so if everything goes right in the next 5 years,
Okay.
what would that look like?
Ooh, everything right in the next 5 years. Speaking on global stages.
Oh, I love that.
Yes.
I love that for you.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, I definitely want to. And it's something I had to allow myself to accept that I want. But with time, like even in my self-image script, that's now part of it, that I'm a world-renowned speaker. I want to be speaking on global stages and podcasts like this and shows and, sharing and all of that. So yeah, that is 5 years.
I think
Or
you're
before.
gonna, yeah. I think you're gonna change a lot of people's lives.
Thank you.
And I think even listening to you today, I think there's gonna be a lot of people that you open up their eyes and their mindsets and their hearts.
Thank you. Thank you.
What you've been through is amazing. It's a beautiful story. It's a hard story and a beautiful one at the same time. So I really appreciate you sharing that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, we'll move on to the quick fire questions.
Okay.
What is one thing your 2-year-old taught you about resilience? What did AJ teach you?
AJ is just, oh my goodness. Okay, before I even answer that, sorry. This has been the new thing that just completely melts my heart. So his new morning routine, so we do our affirmations. Sometimes he'll be like, no, mama, no affirmations. Then I have to like whisper them over him because I'm not doing affirmations. That is a must. But then he'll do this thing where he'll like get out of bed and then he'll walk around and he'll bring me my slippers so that I can get out of bed. And it's just the cutest thing. Yeah, sorry.
It's very sweet.
It is the cutest.
Oh.
But what he's teaching me, I think, is just how quickly kids let go.
Yeah.
Like in this moment, this is the most heartbreaking thing. And how could you say no? And I wanted to take the blankie to eat. Why can I not take the blankie? And in that moment, that's like massive.
Yeah.
And then you let him, just process and feel his feelings. And 2 minutes later, he's over it. And it's just such a reminder because how much do we carry?
Yeah.
How much do we carry that we weren't allowed to take that blankie?
It's so crazy.
We're telling stories 10 years later, and in high school, Alma,
Yeah. It's
do
true.
you know? And we're
Listen.
carrying it.
I'm guilty, but
No, we must let go.
we're working on it.
Truly. I think letting go you see so beautifully in kids because they're like, it was the biggest thing and then they're over it. They
It's
haven't carried
true.
it, they shake it off and they're done.
It's true. I see that in my children every day, but I don't carry it with me and I don't it's so applicable. You know what I mean? But they really do just let go.
Yeah.
And sometimes I get mad at my kids and I maybe react in not the best way in the moment. And then I can say I'm sorry and then they get over it and they're like, love you. And you're like, oh my God.
And you forgive yourself also in those moments. You have to. Yeah.
I love that. I love that. Okay. One song or quote that instantly lifts your energy.
Ooh. Quote, maybe there are two. There's Bob Proctor's, if you can see it in your mind, you can hold it in your hand, definitely. And the other quote would just be, truly everything is working out for my good. I think that really, it centers me, it grounds me when the senses are telling me all kinds of nonsense and Spoofy has come back from the gym. That always is like, okay, even this dot that feels out of place, is still working out for my good. Songs, there are too many. Like I'm a person who have different playlists with different moods, but I love music. So I don't know what song would come top of mind. I think Rael songs. There's a bunch of Rael songs that I just love that instantly do definitely uplift my mood. So yeah, I would say maybe Yes I Can by Rael. I really love. So yeah, those would be the quote and the song.
A tip to staying positive under pressure in an entrepreneurial journey.
Ooh, okay. Reconnecting with your why.
That's
Definitely
a good one.
reconnecting with your why. I think that takes you back to realizing that the bumps are worth it and the bumps are part of it. And also that, any failure or any things that don't work is just redirection that's still guiding you. And again, going back to that desire was placed in you by God. It is not your own. So you're not doing it by yourself. You're being guided to create something amazing. So even in those challenges, just know, just keep going. It's going to get so much better. Just keep going. This too shall pass. Because I've definitely had those moments where I'm looking at things or, the maths isn't mathing and all these things. And I'm like, why? And it's going back to that. And it's going back to, I know I'm on purpose.
Yeah.
And I know I'm not doing this alone. So I just can keep going. God give me grace. God give me guidance. If things are too thick, I will go and sleep. And we'll figure it out when I wake up, And always, very important tip, before sleeping, make sure that you're putting something good into your subconscious mind. Because you talked a little bit about the mind, right? Your subconscious is working on things while you sleep. So if what you're putting in is how miserable things are, how you're dreading the next meeting, how this person gets on your nerves, and that's what you're putting in, your subconscious is like the chef. It's like, oh, thanks. I'll take that order. I'll whip up something. It'll give you back more of the same. Have a nice nap. You wake up in a bad mood and you go create more mess, right? So just be very clear about what you're putting in before you sleep. But yes, Kim always tells us at times when things just get too thick, go nap.
Yeah.
Put something good in, but go nap.
Go sleep.
Break it and restart. Get back on track after that. So yeah, I think those would be the tips. Oh, and gratitude, of course. Gratitude is the biggest one.
Yeah, that's the biggest one.
That's the biggest one.
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you, Priscilla.
Thank you.
That was awesome. I loved it. Thank you so much.
You're most welcome.
Speaking to me.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, and I really look forward to seeing what's happening for you.
Yes.
What goes on.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And like I said, I'm so honored that you asked me to be here because I know this is your baby too. So it's an absolute honor and a privilege to be here. Thank you for trusting me.
Absolutely.
And yeah, this was awesome.
Awesome. Thank you. Awesome.